Hello, welcome to a post-game show edition of the Talkin' Rangers podcast. After a crazy instant classic win over the New York Islanders, Rangers win 6-5. They pick up their 36th win of the season, pick up 2 big points, and win the 2024 Stadium Series at MetLife Stadium. Joe, huge win. By far the game of the year. I don't know if anything's going to top this, unless if they go all the way to the cup. Obviously, the game when they win the cup will be the game of the year, but this is by far the game of the year.
That game was electric.
Yep.
Dude, that game was electric, man. I mean, we thought they were out of it. They were giving up like so many chances, and then they just kept with it. They stayed around, got a couple goals to keep it like 2-3 goals.
Yep.
And then for the last month, we've been crapping on the power play, and it comes through. It comes through. Like, what a game, dude! Like, that was. I can't remember a game. I'm trying to think of a game that was like crazy like that.
Yeah.
This might sound crazy, but I don't know if this is like a good comparison. But the last game that kind of felt like this was that game where Zibanejad scored the 5 goals, like
against the Capitals.
Yeah, like it was a crazy game. Like,
yeah.
Dude, like that was crazy.
Yeah, that you make a good point. Like a game like this where you come back from down 3 and then down 2 again, like they seem done. They seem toast. And then to come all the way back, you haven't seen this in a while, especially this year, but it's just crazy. And then outdoors, of course, makes it even crazier in front of 79,000 fans at MetLife and 150,000 fans at the 2 games over the last 2 days, which was a huge weekend for the NHL and for the metropolitan area with all these hockey fans coming out to both these games. But crazy, crazy, crazy. I guess we could start here. We'll kind of bounce around, look at the top performances and power play, of course. But the start of this game, we kind of go period by period here. The Rangers, you have the Gustafsson goal early on, a minute 28 in. It was weird because I thought the Flyers early on actually played better. They were getting, a good forecheck. They were getting some good pressure on net. And then the Rangers, they had 2 shots. It felt like they had 2 shots for a while. Like they had 2 early shots, and that was it. One of those went in. It was the Gustafsson goal, and then after that, it was all Islanders, rather. I think I said Flyers earlier. All Islanders. 3 goals from them, Nelson, Bo Horvat, and then Barzal on the power play. It looked ugly. It looked like it was getting out of hand, but they were able to bounce back. What was your impressions early start in the first period? Because it was obviously a little rough for them.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like they were offensively getting a little too like fancy, like east-west. They were trying to like force passes, and it kind of felt like defensively they were just discombobulated. Like guys were getting like wide open in the middle of the ice, like in the front of the net was open for like the Nelson goal, and they kind of let they weren't defending the rush either well. I mean, we can get more in depth of each goal or whatever if you want, but I mean the second goal of the game was a combination of bad defensive coverage in the neutral zone where they kind of just got walked. I think it was Miller, and then what's his face? Horvat scored a really weak goal. I mean, Igor's got to save that.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know if it was him not seeing the puck. He just seemed shaky early on. Even some of the saves he made, it felt like he was. It just didn't look natural. Both goalies, I think, early on were probably fighting the elements. It was kind of that weird time of the day where you have the sun and the sun going down, created some shadows, and then, of course, the cloud cover. Probably was best that they start. Probably future they should just start the game at like 5 or 4 o'clock, because the 3 o'clock start definitely probably would have been way too early. But it seemed like both were kind of fighting the elements. But yeah, the Islanders put their foot on the gas. I'll tell you what, though, to skip the Islanders, they can't close out games. It's actually hilarious.
And
it's actually so funny.
They also can't win games past regulation. Yeah. I believe that was their 10th loss in overtime and shootout.
Yeah, 14, I think, overall.
Maybe it's more. I think they have 4 shootout losses. So I think that was like, I think it's 15 actually.
15
or
overall.
14. They've lost
14.
14.
Because they're 10 regular, 4 shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they stink actually closing out games. It's actually hilarious. And the penalties too late were they.
I mean, those are all penalties. Like
No,
they can't.
they were, yeah, but it's just funny watching them collapse. It's just Rangers obviously take over there. Yeah, and then you go to the second period, and Trocheck had two really big goals in this one. One of them was on the power play, the redirect by Panarin. Even he got a little bit physical too with the name slipped me. Late in the
I
game.
think he was punching Romanov.
Yeah, fishbowl Romanov.
Yeah, after he took out Lindgren.
That's not fishbowl easy. Doesn't have anything on him.
I mean, hopefully he's okay, but it seems like if I want to make a prediction,
fishbowl Lindgren
is going to come back with the fishbowl on. So,
how many goals?
He'll score.
He'll score 3 goals with the
fishbowl.
2 or
3. Yeah, I mean, you got a little bit more of a jump. I wonder, like, do you think like when you wear? Because when I played hockey, I always wore like protection, like cage or a visor or a fishbowl. But you think as a player, I wonder if you maybe have a little bit more confidence. I don't know if that's ever in the back of their mind.
With fishbowl?
Yeah, like where you don't really have to worry about your face. Like if you're going into the corner to like get the puck and get into a scrum, you don't really have to worry about your face getting hit.
Yeah, I think a little bit. I know that obviously it has better prediction. I know the players though, some of them complain with when they're in like the corner or when the puck's by their feet, it's tough to see. They have to kind of bend all the way down because you know how it has that little like cage here. Yeah, they say it's tough to see through them. And I know you've worn them before. I've never worn one. They say that it's tough, but in terms of protection, yeah, I mean,
maybe it's like I don't know,
maybe more of a willingness to get in front of a puck.
Yeah, but what's his face? Trocheck was really, they were really throwing punches there.
They were Trocheck and then Rempe too.
Dude, he's
4 minutes.
He is a big dude.
He is.
He's a
and they're
massive dude.
Yeah, and they made a good point on the broadcast too. Like 6'7" on skates is easily 6'8", 6'8.5", 6'7.5".
It might be more than that.
6'9".
Maybe you might have 3 inches. Yeah.
And then you have him, and then Gaudreau looked like a midget on that line.
Gaudreau did look small.
It was funny, which it's weird because he's 6'2". Not usually, like he said, he's not used to being the smallest guy in the line, but he looked like a midget. It was funny. So, yeah, that the early fight with Matt Martin. It seems like they looked at each other and then
they probably spoke prior to
bit.
that, maybe on the bench or pregame, like, hey, like we're dropping. It was funny though watching him fight Martin because he's like punching down.
Yeah, he's punching at like the top of his head.
Martin's just getting that shit kicked out of him.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to land that one more knockout punch. It looked like Martin was struggling. I was waiting for him to just
let him go. They like didn't stop it. Usually they like after maybe like a minute stop it. They were just letting them go at each other.
There's just two goons going at each other. What a way to start your NHL career though. Outdoors rookie lap, fight your first shift.
More minutes in the box than on the ice.
That's not a good look.
I mean, he's not gonna be he's a 4th line player if he ever makes the NHL. Which I don't think he will, but probably a cool moment for him though.
Oh yeah, definitely. And obviously just getting the call up to the NHL, let alone be outside and be a part of a game like this, was certainly huge. So then the third period was huge. And again, we'll get into some individual stuff and then just some other stuff takeaways from this game. You go to the third period, Kreider with the goal on the power play, and Mika. The power play finally comes up big in this game. 3 massive power play goals. Now, the Islanders PK, it was interesting. You go into this game and something had to give. The Islanders PK is the worst in the NHL, and the Rangers over the course of really, you could probably say what, the last month, really since
around like 20 games hasn't been good.
It's been awful. It's been one of the worst in hockey. So you had the worst power play, one of the worst power plays in the last month versus the worst PK going at it in a game. Something had to give, and it was the Rangers power play finally breaking through in a big way, 2 goals late. When did what were your thoughts on these goals, and then which goal was it for you from the Kreider and Mika goal that you knew like they were winning this game?
I mean, I didn't in particularly have a goal where it's like we're gonna win, but I think once Zibanejad scored, I thought they were gonna win. I think all the momentum was shifting. And the Islanders, again, aren't good in the overtime and
Yeah.
shootout. So, but I think the Kreider goal gave me confidence where it's like, all right, there's a chance. And then
Yeah.
was it Benajed buried that from that angle on that power play? I was like, oh, they're going to win this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it was the Mika goal it was the Kreider definitely gave you some optimism because there was still about 5 minutes. What was it? Or 4 minutes, like 20,
Yeah, I
30
think
seconds.
maybe a
Something
little
like
less than 4 minutes.
that. Yeah. Because I think it was what, 15,
It
52?
was 15:52, so it was
Yeah.
4 minutes and 2
And
seconds or 8
yeah,
seconds.
8 seconds. Yeah. You knew that, they had a chance. And Lavalette, with his coaching in this game, was phenomenal down the stretch. I love the 5-on-3, or the 4-on-3 turned into a 5-on-3. And of
6
course,
on
when
3 or 6
6
on
on
4. Yeah, no, you're right.
yeah,
5
6
on
on
4.
4
No,
when
you're right. 5 on 4
yeah,
went to
when
5 on
Kreider
or
scored.
but it was a
5
4.
on 3, and then it was a 5-on-4
Yeah.
because it was the 5-on-3 for what was it? Because it was the 4 on
Well, it was a
4 when
4
they
on
took
4.
the
They took the penalty.
penalty.
It was a
Yeah,
4 and 3. They
5
pulled
on
the goalie 5 on
yeah,
3.
5 on
Yeah.
3, and then it was what, I think 30 seconds of the 5-on-4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Once the 5 on or the whatever, the 4-on-4 ended, or the
They scored. I think
4-on-3.
they scored on the 5 on 4 or the 6 on
Yeah,
4, right? I think they scored
yeah,
two 6 on 4 goals because they didn't.
yeah,
I don't think they scored on
and
the
the
5 on 3.
no, they didn't score on the 5-on-3. The 5-on-3, they had some chances, but it was still a lot of passing. Still a lot of passing, I felt, with 5-on-3, but they had some chances. The 5-on-4, they scored. And then the 6-on-4, too, to pull the net or pull the goalie again. That one shot all the way down ice, I thought that was going to go in for a second.
I thought that was dead center.
It was weird. It flew over the net. I thought it was in.
Yeah,
I
I
thought it
went
was going to
wide.
go in, but certainly something that I was obviously wrong about. And then Mika, like, that is what we need Mika to do. He's
Just
been
let it
passing it
rip.
up way too much.
Just let it rip.
Yep.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
had another one timer earlier in the prior power play where it was a good shot. It kind of Sorokin, I think, just got off the shoulder.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's huge though. To go, I think they were 3 for 6 today. Huge.
Yep. And they all came in big spots.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 goals. Well, I mean, the Trocheck goal early on was to
That
cut
was
the lead to 4-2.
no. That was 100% a big goal. I mean, they were down
Yeah.
what 4-1 at that
4-1.
point.
I thought once they went into the second intermission when they cut the lead to 4-3, I don't know. I had a feeling they were going to win there. And then once they scored and Lindgren goes down, I'm like,
Yeah, I thought the
I
game
don't
was
know.
over. Yeah, at that point.
All the wind was just taken right out of them because they scored less than 2 minutes into the second or the third. And it was like, it's over. But yeah, the Kreider and Zibanejad was huge. And then you go into the overtime and Panarin with a amazing play. Good forecheck, scores on Sorokin. At first, there was maybe a little bit of nervousness that they weren't going to count it, but the goal was in either way. Even if the net didn't get dislodged, the goal was in. And Panarin, his crazy season continues. MVP. MVP.
He's stepped it up, and especially there was a big game too. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Sometimes he
I don't
disappears.
know if it's like the playoffs or like just big games that he kind of drifts off. But I mean, he wasn't like dominating the game, but when he needed to be big, he came up big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. He had the 3 points, or 3 points in this one, 2 assists, 1 goal. 8 total guys had points, and I believe it was 3 guys with multi-point games, because it was Lafreniere had the 2 assists,
I think it was
Panarin,
4.
and then Fox.
I think Fox, Panarin, Lafreniere, and Trocheck. I think
Yeah,
Trocheck had
Trocheck.
3
Yeah,
points.
because he had the assist, and then the 2 goals.
Yeah.
And that redirect too was huge. I thought at first it was Panarin.
Yeah, there was a replay actually where it kind of showed him looking at it, but I think it was more so on accident. I don't think he tried it because
wasn't a Kreider meant to be
no.
tipping. Not quite there yet.
Kreider did tip one in though, so
That is true.
In his office.
Everything was working. Power play, Kreider, tip-ins, Mika Zibanejad. That is the Rangers formula right there.
The one-timer and the tip-in.
Yep. The Mika
100%.
Kreider combo. Igor, I know we touched upon it a little bit earlier. I thought he got better in the second period. The third period, that was an unfortunate goal on Lindgren.
Yeah. He would have
did
probably
face
been
41
there.
shots. I mean,
He would have been there.
yeah,
probably.
Lindgren would have been there. Yeah.
to pick up that stick, and it was also unlucky bounce where it goes off Brzezinski
Brzezinski, yeah.
right to Romanov. You just gotta hope that he's okay. It didn't look good
Yeah.
though. Like usually when you get high sticked, like you lift your stick up, it's like a quick motion. It's not really that much on
Mhm.
the like power wise. This looked like a full on, like it was a full fall through, kind of like almost like a swing right in his face. So I haven't really checked Twitter to see if they really mentioned anything about the update on him. I assume that they'll probably say day to day.
Yeah.
It said Lindgren is still being evaluated per Lavalette.
He's
He
tough.
is upper body. They said more news on Tuesday.
Upper
So
body, lower body. It's always the description. Upper body, lower body.
hopefully, I mean, I don't think it could be too serious unless he like,
Unless if it's
you know,
his eye, which you hope it's not. But if it is, then it's more serious. But if it's just his face, I mean, he might miss Tuesday maybe. But
even if he broke his nose or broke like a orbital bone or like a bone in his face, most he misses 1 or 2 games, and then
yeah,
obviously
the fishbowl,
the fishbowl. Yeah,
the
that's
fishbowl
gonna
season.
it's gonna make a
Dude,
comeback.
so many guys this year wearing fishbowls on the Rangers. You had Gustafson, VZ, Gaudreau, and now Lindgren has to wear a fishbowl now. Like no matter what it is, he's gonna wear a
I mean,
fishbowl.
he will, unless he goes with a cage, which I don't think they like that.
No. Any other potential fishbowl candidates?
No,
No.
no.
We still need a full fishbowl line. We need that for one game.
I mean, like, it's funny. I think that I'd wear a fishbowl. I'd be a bitch. I'd wear one.
You wear a fishbowl.
If I was in the NHL,
What's Romanov dealing with?
I don't know what they said, but nose probably. Most of the time,
Probably.
it's either jaw.
Yeah. Or
But
you take pucks to the face like the Rangers.
yeah, I mean, like going off that is they score there. You go 5-3 at that point. The game is in doubt. I would say
Yeah.
they're probably going to lose at that point. And then they played well. I thought we're getting some chances. They had a power play, I think, that got killed off.
Yeah.
And then they're pressing. Miller gets hooked. They score on that, which again we were saying they pull the goalie to go because it was a 4-on-4 because that's when Trocheck got into the
Yeah.
fight.
And then they take the penalty and then
Make it 4-on-3.
it was a 4-on-3 and then they get the extra skater 5-on-3. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Which that was a really good pressure by the Rangers because even when they got back to 5-on-4 or right,
It was
5-on-4
5-on-5. It goes
was it
6-on-4.
No,
Well,
it was
I mean, no, it was because they took a penalty right after, so they went to 6-on-4.
yeah, 6-on-4. But they scored after the 5-on-3. Like it was 5-on-3, and then the Islanders got out of the box, and there was still like 30 seconds left.
Yeah,
but during that entire time, there was consistent pressure. The Islanders, they were toast.
they were getting puck.
There was no line change.
They were winning puck battles. So.
Yeah, and I thought the forechecking there was obviously really good. I thought for sure they were going to score on the 5-on-3, but you score on the 5-on-4 either way. But I love the taking out the goalie in that situation, even though you still had 5 minutes left and you still had the man advantage on a 4-on-3. You had to be desperate in that moment. There was only around 4 minutes left. You know, if you don't score on that power play, game's over. You had to put all your chips in the center and go for it. And again, winning puck battles, good against boards, good forecheck. Had some chances, had some opportunities. The Islanders, other than that one shot, they had really no good chances on the empty net. They really didn't have any. Other than that one, I think it was their only real chance, if I remember.
What's something I kind of want to point out is what I like about Lavalette is I really like his faith in Lafreniere.
Yeah.
He's throwing him out there in key situations, and I think it's a win-win for the Rangers because obviously if he develops, getting more ice time, better chance of scoring, better chance of doing better. And I just think for his confidence, just to knowing that he has the confidence of the coaching staff, I think is huge.
Yep.
And he did make a really nice play on the second goal and in that span where it tied the game, where he went in, won the puck battle, hit Fox coming down the seam, and then Fox kind of dished it off to Zibanejad. But it's really nice to see that he has the faith in Lafreniere.
Yeah. Something else I would say about Lavalette, and this is something that I think he's miles better than Glant, is, you know, when we talked to Johnny Lazarus the other day, he was talking about how He's hold guys much more accountable. If he's not, he's what was the phrase? It was like he's very imposing to even the veteran guys. And you've seen him in games a couple times where they get off to slow starts. He's not afraid to call an early timeout, hold guys accountable, get them back focused. I feel like sometimes under Gallant or other coaches, that lack of accountability, they kind of just let things go out and they'd lose the game 5-2, 6-2, and they'd walk away and say, oh, good effort, good game, back at it Tuesday. That's not the case with him. And I really like that. Just having that accountability, that sense of urgency, even though it's only the first period, you fall down. I think he called the timeout right after they fell down. What was it? I think it was 3-1. I think it was after the third goal.
Yeah, once it went 3-1,
Yeah.
and they gave up that quick power play goal.
Yeah. And then, for the most part, the rest of that period, they played fine. You go into the second, of course, they start to mount some goals, get back into it. And of course, the rest is history. But that's something I really like too, on top of, like you mentioned, the Lafreniere trust factor of it all. 78 shots total in this game. A lot of shots.
A lot, especially the Islanders early on. I think at like 35 through 2 periods, which they're peppering Igor. I mean, as much as Igor, I thought was a little shaky. I thought he held his own after that quick span.
Yeah, especially they started to target Igor a lot in the second period glove side. He made a couple really nice glove saves that there was like 3 or 4, which is something I think he's allowed 22 glove side goals this year, which is the most in the NHL. They started continue to go at him, and he was able to stop him in the second period and keep him in it. There was a lot of saves that if he doesn't make, this is probably a 8-4 game maybe. There could have at least been 3 more goals if he wasn't on top of his game in those moments.
Also, credit to Lavalette again, where maybe Gallant's pulling him.
Yeah, he has that trust. Yeah. Was there did you ever think about like they should pull him?
Maybe after the 4th goal, the early goal, second period. But again, credit to him. He stuck what he thought was right. I mean, again, giving confidence to Igor. I get he wasn't great, but they won, and to know that his coach's confidence, where even if he's not playing well in a game, to keep him in there, having trust in him, I think is huge, especially for his confidence.
Yeah, you make a good point, and I think too the fact that, not to have everything to do with it, but the confidence level. If he were to get pulled in an outdoor game, national television in front of 79,000, that would kill his confidence. It would destroy it.
Yeah, and who knows if cold quick. It was probably cold just in general, but in the hockey sense,
very cold quick.
In the hockey sense, to throw him out there in that kind of a game, I think you don't know how it's going to react. So I think, that was a good move by trusting your goaltender. So
yeah. And then, too, trusting some of those guys to get back into it, to get them back into that game. But this was crazy. Where do you think this is going to rank? This is the best 5-0 in outdoor games. Just keep playing. Just play the playoffs outdoors.
Exactly.
It's gonna be warmer out.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the ice play will melt, but who cares?
This, by the way, the NHL needs to do more of this back-to-back days. I know it's tough in some other cities because you don't have 4 teams in the area. Metropolitan, the area, Philly, New Jersey, New York is lucky that we have 4 teams in the area. To do this, not everywhere else has that ability to have 4 teams in the area play 2 days in a row at the same spot, but they need to do more of this, like back-to-back days, even if it's like what the Rangers did. The what was it? The 2 games, was it the Saturday? Yeah, at Yankee Stadium. Was it a Saturday and a Tuesday? I think it was, or something like that.
But they played
the Devils in the Isles.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do that, I don't know, wherever the next event is. Let's say it's Boston. The Bruins play one day, and then
I know there's 2 events confirmed. I think for next year.
Is
I
it Columbus? One of them.
The Winter Classic is Blues. Or maybe it's not Blues. I know it's Chicago. I don't know where they're playing.
Yeah, it's Chicago at Wrigley. You're right about that. They announced that last week. Yep.
I think that is the Blues, and then they just announced that Stadium Series game, Michigan versus Ohio State.
I
Columbus.
knew. Yeah,
the
Blue
Jackets
out of Ohio State. The shoe, right?
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I knew that was going to possibility. But even like that, you have Columbus play that. Let's say that game's on a Saturday, play another game on a Tuesday. It's great for hockey, these multiple outdoor games. There's no need to only have 2 outdoor games. You should at least have 3. 2 stadium series, the one with the Classic.
3 this year. But, a quick thing I want to point out is Capo Caco. Underratedly having a really good
He had a good game.
Good game, but good like since he's been hurt, at least in his last 8 games, he has 6 points.
Nice
Yeah,
nugget.
I mean, he's been really good for a guy who
Yeah.
doesn't play that much, doesn't play the power play. Good defensively.
He was slinging the football too the other day.
Yeah, he's got a cannon.
He's better than most of the quarterbacks that have ever played in New York, ever played inside of that stadium.
They all lasted more plays than Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. The ice is better than the turf there.
Who do you
You
think
know
played?
what's going to be the new meme?
Who do you
Is
think
like a
who had more
yeah,
ice? Who played more playing time? You think Rempe or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Do you think
Well,
he
it's
played
like
more?
the same 4 minutes, 4 snaps. It's like no Rempe. Rodgers lasted about 2 minutes,
A minute?
a
Yeah.
minute, minute
Okay.
and a half, 2 minutes maybe.
Well,
Rempe at least was out there for 4 minutes, and it wasn't
yeah.
hurt. He just not very good.
No, not a good skater. Can fight
No,
though. Big guy.
big guy,
Huge guy. Huge guy.
big guy, big
Very
dude.
big dude. It's like the
You,
Twin Towers.
you know what's going to be the new meme is
Um,
you're going to have if the Jets or the Giants next year get off to like an 0-5 start. Hopefully it's the Giants. Not nothing against the Giants. I just can't take an 0-5
like the
start from the
Rangers have
Jets.
more wins.
Everyone's going to be like, yeah, the Rangers and Devils have more wins in 2024 than the Giants do. And the Giants maybe have already played like 3 home games and it'll be like, that's going to be the meme now.
It might be.
It's going to be a
Hopefully
meme
not.
until both teams win a game at home.
Hopefully they both win both games. I don't have a problem with the Giants. I hope the Jets and Giants both are good.
Oh, no. Yeah. They need it. That stadium needs more winning from the NFL teams than to do
Maybe they
hockey.
do like a reverse where the Jets or Giants play in Massacre Garden.
Indoor game.
That'd be electric.
You know what I heard earlier today? I saw on Twitter. I saw this guy today when the sun was out, and they're like, "This is why there should have been a dome on MetLife." I'm like, that defeats the entire purpose of an outdoor game. What are we talking about? Dome on MetLife
I wonder if they've had that like a hockey game in a dome, like a football
in a
stadium.
football stadium?
Mm-hmm.
They maybe, but that'd be stupid.
Yeah,
Why
I
would they do
guess.
that?
I don't know. Maybe more seats.
More seats, but might as well just put the game outdoors at that point.
I mean, like you're not going to go across the country. Say if you're the Wild, right? But I mean, they have the baseball. I mean, a lot of these teams have multiple stadiums, so
Yeah, I think
like
I think it's better suited at a football stadium than it is a baseball stadium.
because baseball stadiums are weird because none
Yeah.
of them are the same and they're all like built differently.
Yeah, and it's the football stadium. It's similar to a hockey stadium, like the way it's built. Baseball, it's weird. You know, if you're sitting in the outfield, you're far away from the action because the action is really taking place by like second base between
Yeah,
like second
infield.
base to outfield, infield. Yeah, yeah, really the infield. So if you're if you're on the green monster, you're not going to see anything.
No,
But
probably not.
here
But
you have a better view. I mean, you're still pushed back. I mean, you could see we're actually inside of MetLife right now.
yeah, we are.
We
This
are.
awesome seats for this
It's
game.
awesome.
But
It's still bright out, but
yeah. So when kind of continuing on in the game, they get the goal. Obviously, a huge goal. Get to overtime right off the bat. Artemi
yeah,
Panarin just knocks one out of the air and he scores. I mean, like,
yeah.
did you think that was going to be a goal? Like, or you
When
think
it like
screw
the
the Rangers?
review.
Yeah, like screw the Rangers though.
At first when the net got dislodged, no, I didn't think it was going to be a goal. But then after seeing the different angle, you could tell it was a goal. And then the explanation, of course, from the ref, I forget his name, but you could tell it was definitely going to be a goal. And it better have been a goal because when the Rangers were
Oof.
celebrating,
And
all I
then
could
the
think of
powder
is
bad. All the memes.
all I could think of is the Islanders coming back and then them showing all these memes of the Rangers that we'll have to see until their next Stadium Series game.
I mean, the Rangers had no business getting a point in that game. Not even winning,
No.
getting a point.
Well,
No
that was
business.
my mindset. Was then it got to overtime, I was like, you got to win this game. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, you got a point and you were down 4-1 and then 5-3. Your goalie let up 5 goals this game. I mean, you don't deserve to win many games when your goalie lets up 5 goals.
How many teams come back from being down
No quit in
3 goals in the middle of the second period?
Not many, especially in a game like this. The
Yeah.
Isles are terrible. I don't want to get too confident, but they can't. I've never seen a team change the coach, change the uniforms, change
Get
whatever you
worse.
want. They're never going to learn how to close games.
I mean, they got to blow it up, I think. I don't think they have this right team in place. I think
Nah,
this team, the team's
it's
window, their window was those 2 years.
Yeah, the year
Where
they got to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
having Game
Tampa.
6. Yeah,
Or
back
was
to
it
back.
game 6?
One was game 6, one was game
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Those are their years. You go to the 2 Eastern Conference Finals, you got to get there at one point.
Yeah.
They're toast.
And they really don't have much assets either. I know that the last couple of years been trading their picks. Like I know Horvat, they gave up a couple first for him.
Yeah,
So
that Horvat deal did not make much sense.
he's a good player though, but yeah, I don't think
He's
long-term
a good player. It just didn't make sense for the state of their team. Like they need a lot more than that. They need a reset. They're just like any aging team, or any team. They've missed their opportunities. They had their chances. They've had their runs.
time to give up time for that letter.
The letter. I was just about to say that.
Time for the letter.
This one. That's what makes this win extra sweet is because this Rangers team's got a legitimate chance. The last Winter Classic game, that win was a month before the letter was sent.
Yeah.
So it's like this one really feels great.
But if you want to keep going down my line of listen to this, I've added into my history repeats itself thing. So 2012.
Oh, here we go.
You get to the conference final, and 2012, Lundqvist won the Vezina. Right? So you got that. 2013 again, team disappointing, knocked out early in the playoffs. Fire coach. 2014, new coach. When they won Stadium Series game versus the Islanders in 2014 as well,
and
get to the finals.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
at
least for the Islanders, And then 2022, get to the finals or conference final, win the Vezina, which is Shesterkin. 2023 again, disappointing season, fire coach.
It's all lining up.
2024, new coach. Win the Stadium Series against the Islanders. It's aligning. The stars are aligning.
You should post that on Twitter. It's just going to keep extending.
Whatever else. We're trading for.
If they beat the Stars on Tuesday night, we have to find a random Tuesday night game that they won in February of 2012 and match it up.
Well, it would be 2014.
2014, not 2012.
But my thing is that the only thing that can happen is they're not going to trade Trouba. We traded Callahan that year.
Yeah.
Who's like an equivalent of like Martin St. Louis?
What that we can bring in?
Yeah, like an aging veteran.
Be like Boone Jenner.
No, he doesn't have the resume.
Like
like someone like St. Louis, maybe like Crosby. I mean, they're not going to get Crosby, but
TJ Oshie.
I don't know, but that's beside the fact.
Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin.
Maybe, but yeah, no. Stars are aligning, man. Like this is a statement game that I think the Rangers, like, we were bad, we were down and out, and we're never out of games. And they come back and they win.
Yeah, they didn't play even nearly close to their best game.
They were not good.
They played bad, if we're being honest.
It's funny though, because the thing that they've been struggling with that usually carries them finally came back, and they came back. The power play. Like 3 for 6. That's the reason they won the game.
Yep. And I think that's something I will say during this time of the struggling power play. That I think if you're a Ranger fan, you have to take as a positive is they're finding ways to still win games.
Yeah.
That there's 6 of these 7 games, the power play has been nothing. It wasn't until today where the power play won them the game. But last year you saw in the playoffs, their power play went non-existent and their 5-on-5 play was terrible. I mean, all these forever now, the Rangers, it's always been all about their power play, and they've been able to win games just 5-on-5. So I think that's got to give you some confidence. But if this team can be good 5-on-5 and the power play, I mean, they're unstoppable. I mean, that's
and they get Igor.
Yep, get Igor right.
My only thing is takeaways after this game. Obviously, great game and everything, but I think they need a scoring winger. This is a hot take, not super hot, but I think they could potentially get by with Brodzinski as the third line center.
Yeah, I like Brodzinski's starting to grow on me a little bit. I just like that whole third line. They're just, I like the way that they attack the net.
They grind you down and play good defense. The only thing is though, if they do that, they still have to add 2 forwards.
Well, the wing's a need now with Wheeler.
Well, they need to add a fourth line player.
Yeah,
that because they only have they only have, if you think of, I mean, if they get a first line guy, VC and Gaudreau on that fourth line, they need someone else.
Yeah.
And then I think defense is good, goaltending is good. If you want to keep Brzezinski, I think it might
I
be
like
okay.
Brzezinski. He's
I
playing
think
well.
the only thing is, though, they need a right winger that can score on that
Yeah.
first line.
Yeah. That's a need. Once Wheeler went down, you know that they needed somebody like that.
They needed a need before that, though. I mean,
No, yeah.
Wheeler was never going to be that, regardless of injuries. Opening
Mhm.
night, got the Garden, hopefully, game 1. He wasn't not going to be that for that
Mhm.
right winger.
Fishbowl VC?
No. As much as I like VC, he is
No,
an
yeah, he's not that. He's not that. He's a bottom
unbelievable
6.
fourth line, maybe decent third line player.
Yeah.
He
Legitimate top. You need a legitimate top 6 winger to fill that role. First line.
they need a scorer. They need someone who can
Yeah.
score, because I think
Tarasenko.
Zibanejad and Kreider can do defensive work for you. They need
Mhm.
someone on that line that can just score, that
Dude,
can shoot and score.
if this is the start for Mika, that would be huge. If you
Goals
can
and
get a scoring.
goals in back-to-back games, right?
Yep. Yeah. He had the
No,
goal on what was it? Thursday?
against the Canadians.
Yep.
No 5-on-5 goals though.
He had 3 points in that game, I believe, against Canadians. He had those 2 assists.
Did he?
Yeah, that's back-to-back multi-point games.
No, he only had 1 point. He
1
just had the
point.
goal.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I mean, like, I take that over 5 points.
Well, it's 4 points in 2 games. Yeah.
I'm just saying I take that over whatever. I mean, game tying goal with the
Yeah.
goalie pulled. That's like worth extra points, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't scored a 5-on-5 goal though since like the 23rd of December.
Yeah, the 5-on-5 goal has been a minute, but they're finding ways to score 5-on-5. To me, I think more importantly is just seeing them get back on the power play, especially him.
I think
That's
that
like his bread and butter.
that might
Power
help.
play.
That might help his confidence too.
Yeah,
On 5-on-5.
I mean, this has got to help his confidence. This goal was extremely clutch.
Yeah,
in front of 79,000 scoring like that.
Mostly Rangers
His
fans.
confidence has got to be through the roof now.
What do you think the split was, fans? Like 90
Today
to
or
10?
both days?
Today, like 90-10
like
Rangers?
100-0.
You don't think
Yeah,
there's any
realistically,
Islanders?
90-10. There was no Islanders fans there.
Yeah, I think I'd say 90-10.
90-10. Yesterday, I'd probably say it was 80-20.
Yeah, I mean, obviously New Jersey is in New Jersey, or this is in New Jersey. Like Philly's pretty far. I mean,
yeah, I thought there was more Philly fans than Islanders fans, though.
yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean,
it's an easier ride from Philly. Getting from Long Island to New York to MetLife is like 2 hours. It's a pain, plus traffic.
yeah,
So
I
that's part
mean,
of it, but
I also there's probably more Rangers fans than Devils fans. That's probably another factor.
yeah, there's no doubt.
So
And that's not a knock on the Devils. There's just the Rangers, the biggest franchise
yeah,
of all 4 of them, most
just
popular.
if you just do the number game, like more Rangers fans are going to buy the tickets than Devils fans,
Yeah.
just because there's more Rangers fans. So then there's an opportunity for more Devils fans. If you just take out of the equation the distance.
Yeah.
But you know that place was going nuts.
Oh, the goal song when they won it.
Yeah, I mean, an electric game.
Yeah.
But I think
Had
it's
some
kind of
FOMO. I wish I was there, but it's all right.
What do you think? We see a trade this week or no? You think they're gonna keep on holding out?
I think they're keep on holding out.
Even without Wheeler, though?
Maybe there might be some urgency. Maybe if they lost today, like 5-1, there might be a little bit more of a fire.
I think it'd be the
First game
opposite.
without really?
Just because of the fact of, a team sees you, you just lost a game, you lost Wheeler, you're kind of desperate.
True.
Rangers can just be like, hey, like we're playing really well, 7 in a row. Like,
Yeah, we don't need a winger, but we
what's the
want
price? Oh, that's too much. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah, I agree.
But I think if I had to make a guess, I assume that Rempe. I don't know. It's obviously too soon right now, but I assume tomorrow you'll get a notification that he's been sent down.
He was clutch today. Big day for him.
I could see maybe Othman if they think he's ready. Maybe he gets another look.
Gabe Perreault.
Well, he
I'm just
can't.
kidding.
He can't even come over till.
No, yeah.
I don't know when that season ends, but it's coming towards an end. I mean, he could come over at the end of the season.
This is the script. Gabe Perreault, Game 7 winner in the Stanley Cup. Is that in the history books? Like a rookie scoring here? That we got any history here?
Well, not to win, but Perreault. Mateau scored that Game 7 overtime goal against the Devils.
Mateau Perreault.
Mateau
Look it up.
Perot.
We're breaking it all down.
Yeah.
We should just start wearing the tinfoil caps.
Perot.
Perot. Wait, what? Range. Sam Rosen. Rangers.
I don't
Perot.
I don't know what he said in the call because obviously I wasn't alive.
The
But
Panarin call?
no, the
Or
Mateau.
Oh.
It was like
Benino.
R.I.P. He's not. I don't even think he's in Hartford. I think he's
Poor
just like
Benino.
he's not even playing anymore. Hey, when we
Yeah.
win, he gets a ring.
Yeah.
A bunch
He's
of guys
him.
are gonna get rings.
Pitlick.
Pitlick, Bonino,
Frempy.
Rempy, Edstrom.
We will all remember these 4 minutes of ice time.
Riley Nash, I'm pretty sure played a game.
Yeah, Riley Nash played a game.
Was
it that Predators game early in the season?
I thought maybe it was a Lightning game.
Might have been the Lightning game.
Who else? Who else was like played a game? I guess like McKay
Perot.
or Mackey. Is it Mackey?
Louis Domingue.
Domingue will get a ring.
Louis Domingue, yes sir.
Wait, Garand, I think technically would
Spicy
get a
pork
ring.
and broccoli.
I think Dylan Garand would get a ring because he did suit up for that one game when Domingue played.
Jake Lieskinen, right? Wouldn't he get a ring too?
Oh, Lecision, yeah.
Jeez, that was awful.
Dude,
Obviously, Estrom's going to get a ring. See the confidence there.
When we trade Jones, he'll get a ring on his new team.
Wait, didn't that what was his name? Bled, Antoine,
Bled.
Yeah, Bled.
He played a game. Yep.
He's a beast.
I feel like there's got to be some Hedel.
Yeah, Hedel will get a ring. Although he's the most deserving out of all those guys, though. Like he actually does stuff when he's on the ice. And it's unfortunate. The other guys just got moved on because they're not any good.
I'm trying to think of anybody. I think
that's it. I think we've hit all of them because then it's Othman as well. Mackey. Yeah. Mackey's going to win the Norris though.
Just he turned the season around.
Yeah.
Ever since he fought that guy, we haven't lost.
He's him.
Seven games in a row. 7 games in a row.
Where is this going to rank all time? So Stadium Series games. I guess I can start. This one's definitely number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2
Winter Classic 2012.
The Rangers Flyers. Number 3 I would say is the 2018.
Probably the overtime. Yeah, that was an overtime game too.
Yeah, overtime 2018.
Then I think it was the other Islanders game was tight because I think they blew out the Devils.
The Devils, they blew them out. It was like 6-3 or 7-3 or something.
7-3. I think it was 7.
Yeah.
I think it was 7-3.
And then the Devils, that wouldn't be last. Although that Devils one was a comeback. I believe they fell down early in that game. It was like 3-1, I think, too, and then they came back. Yeah, but it wasn't close.
They blew them out, yeah.
Yeah.
Martin Brodeur sucks.
What did you say?
Brodeur sucks.
Henrik's better than Brodeur?
Yeah. No, he's not, but I can admit that he's better, but he still sucks.
Yeah, nobody likes Brodeur. Not Rangers fans anyway. But yeah, those would be the order, definitely.
Well, all right, so I'm going to 3 games, 3 regular season games over the last 3 years. Rank them. I don't know if you remember these, but last year against Dallas, you remember that game? At home, they scored with like
with like 1 second left. Yeah, I remember that.
Win in overtime, and then I was actually at this game. You might not remember this. It was 2 years ago against the Sabres. It was a back and forth, like high scoring game with like 2 seconds left. Lindgren scored.
Don't know if I remember that from 2 years ago.
2021, 2022, the year that I went to the conference final.
Eastern Conference.
It was like in November. It was a crazy game.
I don't know if I remember
that. Those are like the last 3 like really good regular season games I could think of.
This one today. Yeah, this one today is by far the best.
This one was great. It was a great game.
Yeah,
we don't want this to be the best game of the season, though.
No. Well, the best game of the season is going to be when we win the cup.
Game 4? No, game 7. It's got to be game 7.
No.
Game 7 at the Garden.
Why do you want a 7-game Stanley Cup with the Rangers? Nobody wants that.
If they're going to win, I want it to be 7.
Why?
Because I want all of like the emotions of
so overtime game 7.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun if they won in 4. I mean, obviously it would.
No, it would be fantastic if they won in 4. What about like 6?
That's fine. 6 I'd take. But
5?
then maybe it wouldn't be at the Garden though. It's got to be at the Garden.
Yeah, that's true. Up to the road team. 6. See, 4 would be at. Yeah, you make a point.
You know how crazy this city would go for a championship? It's
Rempe,
been 12 years.
game-winning goal. Rempe.
It's been 12 years since New York has got a championship.
Yep. And it's been even longer since the Rangers won.
30
30.
years.
Gonna change that.
I was a -8.
You know what's crazy? Is that Senators game actually saved the season.
Yeah. They were down that game, what, 2-0?
Yep. If they lose that game, we would have been on an 8-7 game losing streak right now.
We would be out of the
Would've been the
playoffs right
opposite.
now.
But no, that game saved the season. Saved the season.
What a game. That's just all I'm gonna say is what a freaking game.
Yep.
I feel bad
So-
for Islanders fans. That's all
I
I'm gonna say.
I don't feel bad for them.
To lose
Not
that
one bit.
way. To lose that way. Brutal.
Keep losing. Keep losing. Don't feel bad for any of the Islanders. I don't feel bad for this trio. Boston, Isles, Philly, Devils. Never feel bad for them. I don't anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I don't like any of those teams.
I could understand the Islanders because they're kind of like they're like the Mets and the Jets. They've just everything whenever they feel like something's going right, everything just goes wrong.
That's 4. Islanders, Devils, Bruins, Flyers.
What do you mean?
You said trio.
Oh, yeah, 4.
But I'm just joking. I agree though. Yeah,
Yeah.
those four teams I despise.
Yeah.
It seems like
The least irrelevant team that I don't care about, San Jose Sharks. Couldn't care less about.
I mean, like obviously we play them twice a year. They're dumpster
Not
fire. I used to
the
play.
Kings still don't. I love them. They can't. Can't get over that.
Back in like the mid 2010s and up until recently, I always liked playing the Penguins and the Capitals.
Yeah, good. The Penguins with the Crosby days and Lundqvist, those were fun.
Same as Ovi.
Yeah, Ovi as well. And the Tom Wilson stuff isn't great, but it's nice to get back at him now.
He's a goon.
Yeah. Who else? Who else on the list of good teams?
Maybe the Lightning. They've beaten us a couple times in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
You'd like playing?
No, like they're exciting games. Like the Penguins and Capitals. We beat them a couple times. They've beaten us. The Lightning, I mean.
I feel like the Lightning games are usually good though.
They're good, but that Eastern Conference Final still stings.
Both of them.
Yeah.
2015. You don't remember that one at all?
2015?
Do you?
I'm a little blurry on that.
Do you remember? Do you remember like the step on goal?
I really picked things up because I was 20 when they got to the cup. I was 8.
You were 9, I guess, in 2015.
9.
Then.
Yeah. Don't remember a whole lot. I remember more 2015 and like beyond. I remember more 2016, 2017 years.
2016 is kind of like a blur. I don't remember. I know they lost in the first round. I don't really remember that series.
Which year was that?
They lost to the Penguins. 2016.
Oh, 2016.
2017. Yeah. I went to a couple of those games. I do remember that.
Yeah, that was they beat the Canadiens
won.
and then of course the Ottawa.
Yeah.
That Ottawa series was tough, and then they went on to the drought, and then 4 the next it was 3 the next 4. I mean, the bubble doesn't count.
Yeah, bubble doesn't count. 100%. I mean, technically it doesn't, right? Because they didn't advance to the playoffs. They lost in like the qualifying.
Yeah, it was the qualifying round. That was stupid.
They were a good team that year, though.
Who?
The Rangers.
No, yeah, they were a fun team.
That was like when Zibanejad and
that was Zibanejad, Panarin.
First got Panarin.
Some young guys. They were fun. It was about a week before the lockdown was when Mika scored the 5 goals.
Mm-hmm. He was on a heater too. If you go back and look at his stats, he had it was something crazy. It was like 10 goals in 3 games.
That was even though that team even though that team's recognized for obviously the qualifying round and kind of a lost season, they were a lot of fun. Even though they weren't really
very fun. They were a team
that Cup team.
Really didn't have any expectations and were just playing well.
Yeah.
Lundqvist's last
2016, 2017, really vividly remember. That 2016 year, went to the Rangers-Canadiens game. First ever Ranger game I ever went to. They lost in the shootout, 3-2. 90th anniversary year. Remember, Lundqvist slammed his sticks on the boards.
Not happy. Lundqvist.
Zook almost got the one pass carry Price backhand, but he saved it. And I don't even think the Rangers scored in the shootout. think it was 2-0. It's unfortunate. Missed my train going back, actually.
That's brutal.
Good times, good times. Good times. All that to
At least,
good
at
memories.
least it wasn't like triple overtime.
No.
I was at that game.
What's the most painful loss?
That I've seen or been in person
No, like playoff loss.
in general.
Yeah.
Here's a hot take. I'm gonna say it's between two. Game 7 of 2015 when they lost to the Lightning, or Game 3 against the Lightning. Because if you win that game,
Yeah.
you go to the finals.
They were up 2-0 too. 2-0
feel-
in that game, not just in the series.
I feel like the Martinez goal. It was or
Martinez goals
they were down.
obvious.
They were
They were down 3-1.
3-0.
You knew that series was over.
They were down 3-0 in that series too. Like prior to winning the one game, so I was like, they're not
No,
going.
yeah, the series was over. It
kind of
still stings to lose the Stanley Cup, even if you get swept.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it was Game 7 overtime.
Yeah, so I'd probably say I would. If
The
you wanted to do,
the Martinez one is obvious though.
if you want to do like recency bias, then I would probably say
It's the Game 3.
the Game 3 where they're up 2-0 in the series. You win that game, you're going to the finals.
Yeah,
and
you're not blowing a 3-0 lead.
You never know; they could be in the Avalanche.
Yeah. Yeah. They stopped scoring now.
If Igor stayed hot, though, you never know.
I agree. Yeah.
You could have won a couple low-scoring games.
Yeah, like 2-1, 3-1. It is crazy how fast Gallant fell here.
Yeah,
It's wild.
2 years. How many coaches do you think have coached 2 years and have
Go
gone
to
to
the
the
Eastern,
playoffs?
get 2 games away from the Cup, and in the next year get absolutely crapped on after
But-
going up 2-0.
But they made the playoffs, so I'm saying like how many coaches make the
I'll
playoffs?
get 2 years in a row and get fired.
Yeah, 1 year he went to Game 7 of it's
Not many.
not like he got swept by the Devils, but I was never
Well,
a fan of him.
I mean, I know Tortorella doesn't technically count, but I mean, he did get fired.
I don't know if
Similar
he.
to,
I think he missed the playoffs though. One of the years
well, yeah, he missed the playoffs his first season, I believe.
in
That
2010,
was
I think, when
2009, 2010. Yeah,
they lost to the Flyers in the last game of the season in a shootout.
Yeah.
That's got to be a bad way to go out in the shootout.
Shootout. Imagine a shootout in the playoffs.
That would be stupid. But you know what's funny about that is whoever won that game made the playoffs, went to a shootout. The Flyers, you know where they went that year?
Wait, sorry, what was that?
I'm saying when they lost to the Flyers in the shootout in 2010 to miss the playoffs. You know, the Flyers went to the Stanley Cup Finals that year.
The 2014 or 2010.
2010, yep. They went to Game 6 and they lost to the Blackhawks.
Yeah, that was the Kane days. That was the Kane. Yeah.
Kane scored the goal at the end of the game. I don't know if you ever seen the clip where like
Wasn't that the comeback? They came back in that game.
I don't know. No, that was against the Bruins.
Bruins.
That clip was like the one where like they're in Philly and he scores from like the side and nobody knows it's in and he's like skating up celebrating and everybody's just like confused.
Dude, those Patrick Kane teams were nasty.
You mean those Brad Richards team? Brad Richards was on the team 2015.
Next is going to be Nick Foligno's team.
They have nothing.
Forget Connor Bedard.
Yeah, Nick Foligno.
Dude, Bedard's a beast, but they have, like you said, they have nothing. Like it's going to take a while. Bedard, they've got. They're going
to get the first. They'll get the first pick this year too.
Yeah,
they're going to be a power. They'll be a powerhouse if they get.
Yeah,
the first
5
pick.
years.
They get Celebrini and Bedard. Ooh, watch out. Also got Will Smith or no Oliver Moore
and Nick Foligno.
And Nick Foligno, and the contract of Corey Perry. They still have that.
Good times.
What a crazy! All I'm gonna say is that a crazy game.
Crazy game. 54 minutes we went here.
Looking forward to see what this team does as far as adding players.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully they can continue on this trajectory and, of course, add some pieces at the deadline. Big week coming up, too. This was a big stretch of games for the Rangers. You had the Isles today, then you got the Stars, Devils, and then the Flyers.
And then they have the 2 games against the Blue Jackets, too.
Yeah, and that first game's the second half of back-to-back. So they've got here, starting Tuesday, they've got 4 games over the next, 5 days?
And then I think after that they have a little bit of a gap, but yeah.
Yeah, because then they have 2 days off or in between each of their next two.
Yeah, I
They'll
think
play Columbus, and then
they
they'll
have 2
play
days off, then they
Toronto
play,
after.
and then I think they have 2 days off.
Yeah, and then
So,
it's similar to this.
yeah.
Here they had what 2 days, 2 days, yeah, and then they'll play. I believe it's Toronto on the road. Will be another opportunity for potentially another good Igor game because he played well there earlier in the season.
He does play well in Toronto.
He does, definitely. They got some big games coming up though. Just looking at their schedule here, even in March. March is exciting. They got Devils, Panthers, Carolina, Tampa. They've got a stretch of games
That's going to
where
be a
they
preview.
play
That'll be a
Florida.
preview of the conference final.
Yeah.
Rangers
They've
Panthers.
they've got a stretch of games. Florida, St. Louis, Jersey, Carolina, Tampa, Pittsburgh, Islanders. Listen, he's still going. Winnipeg, Boston, Florida, Philly, Avalanche.
It's a
That
gauntlet.
is a crazy stretch of games. Gosh, the worst of those teams is probably the Isles, right? Well, no, technically the Blues, probably the Blues, but
Yeah, the Blues haven't been great. Even the Jets haven't been playing well anymore.
yeah. Man, and 3 of those, they got 3 straight on the road, Carolina, Tampa. That's big. Maybe some big games. They are this win streak came at a perfect time because if they went into those games still struggling, Carolina easily could have jumped them.
Yeah,
Or
100%.
probably would have already jumped them.
I thought they were, but
Yeah.
keep winning games.
Senators game, Connor Mackey saved us. We're
Yep.
back.
Season's back on.
We're so back.
Cup is back on, actually.
Do you think Quick gets their Tuesday?
Yeah, I think they're gonna let Igor, I think, kind of rest.
Rest, yeah. What are your thoughts on Tuesday? I feel like it's gonna be a hangover.
Yeah, I think they'll probably lose. I think that's pretty.
Yeah, it's probably
You know,
gonna be I
what's
feel like
funny
it's gonna
though?
be 4-1.
Last time where they were on a 6-game win streak, they lost to the Stars. That ended their win streak.
Yeah.
So I could see it happening again.
Although it's a second half of back-to-back for the Stars because actually the Stars play tomorrow afternoon in Boston. It's
So
President's Day.
Maybe they won't get Ottinger. Do they play Boston?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be a good game. Boston's
So-
been struggling.
Yeah, maybe they actually. I forgot about that. Maybe they might actually win tomorrow. Or
The
win
thing
tomorrow.
is, though, they didn't play against Ottinger the last time either, though, because they were on a back-to-back. They were also on a back-to-back. I think his Wedgwood played, and stood on his head.
It's just they're a good team. I don't know. I feel like that might be a
That's fine, dude.
4-1 loss written all over it.
You lose to a good team. You're already on a 7-game win streak, and it doesn't affect your standings per se as like a
So
team in
Western
your
Conference
conference.
doesn't
Yeah,
matter. Today's was big. You lose today in overtime, that would have sucked because then Tuesday would be still an emotional, tough one.
yeah.
And you got Thursday. Like today was a big, massive.
Should be fun seeing the Devils again. I hate the Devils.
Yeah, the Devils they've won 3 of their last 4. They've got a winnable game tomorrow.
I think they're gonna. I think
2 days against the Capitals. They're starting to play well, so that's a good time of a game. Like good, Rangers hopefully enter that game on 8 straight, and then the Capitals potentially could enter that game.
Is that also is it in Newark or is it in Massachusetts?
Yeah, it's in Jersey.
Again, damn, 2 games there. Fuck.
I don't actually. I'd rather it though. I'd rather than play April and March games at MSG.
Yeah. Well, it's been good, man. Like, I mean, just 7 games in a row. Just gotta stay healthy, man. Like, I can't afford anybody else to go down.
The Lindgren thing stinks.
He'll be back with the fishbowl, though. He'll be back with the fishbowl. We're gonna win. Oh, dude, that game was exhausting though. Mentally, it's just watching those games that are tight like that. They're exhausting.
Yeah, it's very exhausting for the players too. We're gonna win. We're gonna win Tuesday. Change the mindset. 7-1.
No.
You know what's gonna be another meme too? I just realized. If like the Jets and the Giants don't score a touchdown the first 2 weeks, they're gonna say the Rangers and Devils scored more touchdowns than the Giants at MetLife.
The Rangers didn't get the extra point. The Rangers didn't get the extra point though.
Neither got the extra point.
Oh, they scored. It was what, 6-3?
That was actually a football score.
6-3, yeah.
That was Zach Wilson versus Tommy
too.
DeVito. Tommy DeVito, they were showcasing him all over the place.
He won't be a Giant next year, I guarantee you that.
I will say that we got to go because this is an hour and we're basically rambling at this point. But
yeah,
I will say this though: they put the players that they chose to introduce to the guys today for the Jets and the Giants didn't make any sense. You had you had the Sterling Shepard free agent, Saquon Barkley free agent, Tommy DeVito is going to be your third string quarterback at best next year. And then for the Jets, Solomon Thomas is a free agent. Brees, CJ Mosley, Quinnen were smart, but Solomon Thomas free agent. He's a good leader on the team and stuff. But the Giants, that's your representation. I mean, I know you couldn't have gotten Dexter Lawrence or somebody like that. You put two free agents that probably aren't coming back and a guy that's probably gonna be on your practice squad. You could have put DeVito, but it should have been like DeVito.
I guess because he's the New Jersey
Andrew
kid.
Thomas and maybe Dexter Lawrence or something like that.
It's probably because he's like a New Jersey kid for DeVito.
Yeah, I mean he did the ad. I actually thought the pregame ad was pretty cool with DeVito. But either way, any closing thoughts here?
No, I mean just again, big win, good game.
Yep. We'll see you in the next one.